Hello, I'm Marsha de Cordova and I am the Member of Parliament for Battersea and the current chair of the All-Party Parliamentary Group for Sight Loss and Visual Impairment. I would like to start by thanking the Nystagmus Network for inviting me to speak at this year's conference.
Last year I presented some evidence that congenital nystagmus in CSMB may have a retinal origin. I will briefly touch on that work again, but I will expand that work now to various CSMB mouse models and discuss the possibility whether this mechanism we discovered is more general than only for the CSMB condition.
The Nystagmus Network prides itself on being able to make the voice of the nystagmus community heard in the fields of education, employment, medicine, research and in everyday life.
I'm Ellie, I'm a postdoctoral research fellow and a trainee clinical scientist, and I'm going to be talking about using the retinal to help diagnose albinism.
Yeah, we want to tell you about this a little story. I say little story, it's about this mysterious thing called NYS4, which is a nystagmus gene, congenital nystagmus gene number 4.
This is the study we published, and these are all the authors, which I also like to mention and thank for the contribution. It was a unified effort. I didn't do it all by my own.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. It's a great pleasure to be here. As you heard, I'm going to talk about genetic testing for nystagmus.
As John was saying, I'm Sarah MacDonald. I'm a PhD student at the University of Southampton, working under Dr. Helena Lee, who you'll hear from next. And my project is looking at novel therapeutics for albinism.
This follows on nicely after Sarah's talk because Sarah has kindly explained what albinism is. All the previous speakers have explained the complexity behind genetic diagnosis of nystagmus and albinism, and she has also highlighted that we have shown that giving levodopa to mice that are young enough during that critical developmental period can improve their retinal development and visual function.
So I'm coming from the Institute for Mental Health within the University of Birmingham. I'm working on this project for the last year, I would say 10 months approximately. It's a collaboration between the University of Birmingham, King's College and Kingston University.
The really interesting discussions are where it's at these meetings, and you know, John, we designed this, didn't we, the talk format, etc., to have almost as much discussion time as talk time, and I think that's paid off, because I think that's where the real gold is a lot of the time.
The incredible scope of the talks we've had today that ranged from molecular mechanisms through to genetics, through to technology and its usefulness in assessment. There was a running theme of differential diagnosis, trying to make sure that diagnosis is accurate and that it provides as much information as possible about the condition that the child has. We talked a bit about, there were several touching points on associated conditions and how that plays to development, and et cetera. And finally, there were a number of sessions about intervention, and that intervention was either involving the potential for treatment or, as we've just heard now, for support, for providing the appropriate emotional and educational support for the students.
Thank you to everyone that's participated today. Thank you to you both for chairing and obviously keeping us all to time, and everyone that's asked questions, listened, and I hope it's provoked some ideas, thoughts and inspiration moving forward.